Hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
Woke and Free.
Thank you for tuning in to our 224th episode of Woke and Free. If you've been tuning in every week for Woke and Free Wednesday, you know that Woke and Free is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week we're doing another Woke and Free story time. This one's called 21 Questions About Christmas. So, before we dive deep into the subject, a couple of things to go over. First, have you gone to wokeandfree.com to not only listen to the episode, but to also download it through the Podbean app? If not, please do that immediately because that's how you join the conversation. Because if you have the app, then you can put in your comments and that's how we can have a Woke and Free conversation. Now, if for whatever reason you listen to podcasts on whatever device and you can't, get more apps on for whatever the reason, then it's a couple of tears that are shed. But what we do ask is that you make sure that you go to wokeandfree.com and go on the listen tab. And then there, whether you do it on iTunes or TuneIn or Stitcher or Google Play or catch our YouTube channel, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, any of those places I mentioned, we just ask that you follow and subscribe to the show on those platforms. Now, also on wokeandfree.com, if you haven't already done it, please click subscribe to follow the show. And then on social, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, and LinkedIn at Woke and Free. And if you do happen to have 90 seconds, we would love a review of the show. This is how we spread the word and get the show to reach every corner of the world, because it needs to be a Woke and Free world. Now, I'm going to kick it to you, Khalil.
And I'll catch the ball that you kicked, I think.
Nice.
Or the episode that you kicked.
Wonderful.
And since I grabbed it, you know what? I'm just going to give it right back to you. I think
Excellent.
That's the best thing to do right now.
Kick it right back. I agree. Okay, well then with that, 21 questions about Christmas. First out of the gate is question number 1, why is Christmas a holiday that we celebrate?
I think most of us probably know it was originally to celebrate Jesus' birthday. As the story goes, it was the 3 kings brought gifts to Jesus. So cool. That's what the holiday used to be about. Now, I think it's really about buying gifts and just spending time with your friends and family. It's the time right before the end of the year and you really get to catch up with them and kind of look back on how the year went. And it's sort of like a big celebration before that New Year event that you gonna do. So it's like a warm up to that.
That makes sense. Yeah. I actually don't know the original story about Jesus and I've heard of it. The wise men. I can't remember it because it's fantastical.
I've been in too many plays about it, so.
Wonderful. I've never been in any.
That's why I know the story.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So on history.com, and again, all links you can find for our episode, you'll be able to see on wokeandfree.com. They detail the history behind Christmas. They say that Christmas is celebrated on December 25th and is both a sacred religious holiday, which is hilarious, and a worldwide cultural and commercial phenomenon. Amazing.
That's a good word to think of it like.
Amazing. Yeah. For 2 millennia, people around the world have been observing it with the traditions and practices that are both religious and secular in nature.
Yeah, of course.
Christmas celebrates Christmas Day as the anniversary of the birth of Jesus of Nazareth, a spiritual leader whose teachings form the basis of their religion. Popular customs include exchanging gifts, decorating Christmas trees, attending church, sharing meals with family and friends, and of course waiting for Santa Claus, to arrive December 25th. Christmas Day, which is also a federal holiday in the United States since 1870.
Thank you for that real history lesson. You went you did a deep dive into
Amazing.
Jesus of Nazareth. Wow.
Amazing.
Taking it back.
Amazing. And then by the Middle Ages, Christianity had, for the most part, replaced pagan religion. Okay. And on Christmas, believers attended church and celebrated ruckusly in a drunken carnival-like atmosphere similar to today's Mardi Gras. And each year a beggar or, beggar or student would be crowned the Lord of Misrule, and eager celebrants played the part of his subjects. The poor would go to the houses of the rich and demand their best food and drink, and if owners failed to comply, their visitors would most likely terrorize them with mischief. Christmas became the time of the year when the upper classes could repay their real or imagined debt to society by entertaining less fortunate citizens. So
trick or treat?
Exactly.
That's what that sounds like.
Sounds like it's a Halloween nightmare with like people wearing red and white. So that's listed on history.com. I thought that was just like really fun and interesting and weird.
And to me, this might have been, I think this is written by a Christian because they say that Christianity replaced pagan religion, but pagan, all it means is a non-believer. And of Christians, specifically to Christians, so that doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, like, that's funny to describe it like that, but, that's history.com. That's how they're gonna do. But we're gonna go to question 2. How is Christmas celebrated around the world?
So on goodhousekeeping.com, they actually have a breakdown of how Christmas is celebrated around the world. So in Japan, KFC for Christmas dinner. Next would be, which I thought was funny, Poland. People share a pre-dinner wafer. And then Slovakia, carp for dinner. But carp is a fish, right?
Yeah. It's not like carpe diem. That's something different.
And then in all over Central Europe, people enjoy carp for Christmas Eve dinner. Next, Sweden. St. Lucia's Day. In Sweden, Finland, Norway, St. Lucia's Day is a special part of the Christmas season that commemorates a woman said to be one of the first Christian martyrs. Celebrations involve candlelit processions and with the eldest girl in each family dressed up like St. Lucia in white gowns, often wearing a wreath with candles. And the girls will also serve the family S-shaped Lucia buns and coffee or mulled wine. In Greece, the Christmas trees and boats. There, in the seafaring country of Greece, decorating Christmas trees and boats have been popular for centuries. The first known Christmas tree in Greece was put up by King Otto in 1833 next to a large decorated boat, which families traditionally erected to celebrate men's return from sea voyages. Today, in cities like Athens and Thessalonica, large lit up boats appear alongside trees. In Ethiopia, Christmas processions. So people celebrate Christmas called Gana or Gena on January 7th in accordance with the Ethiopian Orthodox calendar. Mass often begins with special candlelit procession in which participants wear a thin white shawl called a nidila, process around the church 3 times before the service begins. They don't typically give gifts during Ghana. It's a time for church and games and, of course, food. In Germany, Christmas markets, where you can do your Christmas shopping with a mug of mulled wine in one hand and a bratwurst in the other at festive outdoor markets. The sprawling seasonal markets pop up all over the country with artisans selling gifts for everyone on your list. In the Philippines, oh Lord.
You should know that one.
Noche Buena.
Yeah.
And lots of lights. So that's where Filipinos take the Christmas season seriously with big Noche Buena parties on Christmas Eve. Many will attend mass called Misa de Rizo in the evening and then feast and dance into the wee hours. Decorations often go big with the Parol, a light star lantern featuring prominently. And then in Austria, there's Krampus hunts for naughty children. I'm terrified
Krampus.
That is.
He's a good demon.
So in Austria and Bavaria, St. Nicholas gifts good kids gifts, while Krampus, the half man, half goat special, comes around and drags the bad ones away. And in some places, men dress up as the scary character of a Krampusluff or Krampus run, in which they parade through the streets to blow off steam and scare some kids back into line. That's
a big event they
horrifying.
It's like the running of the bulls, but you do the running of the Krampuses.
With children running away.
And other grown adults, too, running, too. Because it's really fun.
And then in England, you have stockings hung on bedposts with care, okay? And then...
with care, of course.
That's pretty much like all the different places that they talk about. And again, if you want to read more, definitely the links will be available on wokenfree.com. That was exhausting and terrifying.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And I've heard of 2 more things that people do, but the first one, I forgot the country that does it, but
nice.
it was just crazy the thing to me because it's about this thing, the Yule Cat, And
what is that?
So what happens is on Christmas, if you didn't get any new clothes, I think that night the Yule Cat will eat you because you didn't get new clothes.
What is a Yule Cat?
It's a cat that eats people that didn't get new clothes.
So it's a giant monster?
I don't think it's giant. That's the thing. I think it maybe like when it's going to eat you, it gets a giant mouth. You know, like how the snakes can eat like big items.
So an anaconda.
But it's a cat though. It's a special cat. But people are scared of this because the thought is you didn't get new clothes because you didn't work hard. Because people who work hard, they always got new clothes because your clothes got like destroyed and everything. Okay. So that's what this Yule Cat thing is. But I'm not too sure of the country that comes from, but. Hey, maybe somebody can comment about that, right?
Put that in the comments, guys.
That won't be too hard to find out. Mm-hmm. And then another thing that the Germans have that you didn't mention is Belschnickel. And I remember that from The Office, actually, because it was...
Is that a real thing, though?
It is, yeah.
Okay,
it's a real thing. So, like, Dwight did it. He dressed up as the Belschnickel. And what he does is he goes around and he gives gifts to the nice people. He goes up to the doors. But then the bad people, he whacks you with a stick or something. And that's all, that's one of the traditions that they celebrate. And it's a really crotchety old person that does it.
I'm just terrified and exhausted by this whole thing.
So see, some people have like really varied Christmases, not just the...
Some sound like it's Halloween. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, so I think when the demons come out, it hurts you.
I think people are really confused.
There's a lot of punishment.
It's a far cry from Jesus.
So, well, yeah, now you're seeing why all these different things have come to play.
This has been really weird. And now the next question number 3 would be, why do you personally celebrate Christmas?
Well, I could tell you why I don't, and that's not for Belschnickel.
Definitely not.
It's not for him.
Or that crazy
Krampus?
Thing, running in the streets.
Yeah, I don't know.
What life is this?
I don't think that's what Christmas should be about.
I mean, but again, that's just our perspective.
Yeah, maybe because if you grow up like that, you might be like, well, yeah, you gotta have...
Who doesn't want to be, scared by scary men in costume?
It's because, remember, that's more, they have more of a balance going on. They got the yin and the yang kind of thing going. They have the good and the bad. Mm-hmm. Here, Christmas is just kind of good. Except, I think we do the lump of coal for bad people. Lump of coal, That's about it, but it's not so extreme. I just think about it, for me, is... It's time to just relax with family, and what I do is I like watching their joy as they unwrap gifts because it's just so fun. People being surprised and not knowing what they actually got. So that's what I think's fun about Christmas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, for me personally, I love gifts and I love giving gifts, and it's an American tradition that just works for me personally because, to your point, when you get down to the end of the year, it's really nice to have a nice kind of moment to reflect, but also to celebrate all the goods and the wins that you've had. And in this year, I mean, we've had a lot happen, but we're so incredibly blessed to have our son. And so the best Christmas gift is him, every single year, but especially for our first Christmas with him.
Yep. Question 4, what has been the most memorable Christmas to date?
I would probably say it's going to be this year because of being that it's baby KJ's first Christmas. I can't imagine something being more memorable than this, but, I would say a close second would be probably the first Christmas we shared, right? Because that was really special, and all those, 17 years ago?
But you actually remember it then.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. So that's
and
yours.
You've completely forgotten it.
Yeah, of course.
Amazing. Amazing.
Can't say if it was the 1st or the 10th. I can't say.
Beautiful.
But it's good enough. It could have been the 5th or the 3rd. See how we've had so many Christmases together. I can't remember which one's which.
I'll call Krampus after this.
Krampus is coming down the street already.
Stop.
It's for whoever's.
I get scared.
You got to be nice and not naughty, then you don't have to worry.
Who are you talking to?
I know that's that's a rough one, right? Exactly. My most memorable Christmas when I was first allowed to come downstairs and play with some toys before everybody else was awake.
Aww.
That's what I remember. Because I just thought that was fun. Like, as a kid, getting to do stuff that you love to do. And you got to do it, super early, because I never got to wake up that early.
Aww.
So that was fun.
Love that. Question 5. How does celebrating Christmas differ between being a child versus as an adult?
Well, being an adult is good, because I'm just able to get the gifts that I really want. Since I got a job, that's what really helps with that. Mm-hmm. It's a lot different than when I was a child. I had to just hope and dream that hopefully I get the gifts on my list, but you never knew what you're really going to get. So I guess being a child, maybe there's more surprise with what's going to happen on Christmas. But as an adult, you do most of the planning. So you kind of know exactly how it's going to go down. I mean, yeah, you can get surprises too, but most things you know what's going to happen. As a kid, it's a little more magical because you don't really know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I would say as a kid, you mostly want like toys and stuff like that. And as an adult, for me, the switch has been like, I want makeup and I want clothes, and I wanted books as a kid as well. So that transcends childhood into adulthood, but it's more so like distinctive things that are going to improve your life and your lifestyle versus as a kid, it's more about pleasure and sensory and just like fun, as opposed to like, let me read a book on business and like, yeah, someone get that for me, or AKA get it for yourself.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. Question 6. Do you have any Christmas traditions?
Not really. Growing up, Christmas wasn't a big thing in our house. So particularly, I would say the only traditions that come to mind is probably just like some of the foods maybe that I would eat because I'm, proud, family, Jamaican family that I'm a part of. I would say I really enjoy eating traditional Jamaican dishes on like holidays like Christmas, but being that we're all the way in Arizona, I don't necessarily hone in on that. So nothing other than the tradition of receiving lots of gifts.
that's all you could think of. That's
correct.
Funny.
How about you?
Well, it's funny because you've been doing the traditions now for some time since you've been with me, but it's been opening a gift on Christmas Eve. That's kind of the tradition that my mom started, and that's what we've been doing.
Love that one that you do that. Yeah,
yeah, we always get to open one gift under the tree, so that's, I think, a tradition we always like to do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Question 7, any tips for those who are feeling down when dealing, now during this kind of Christmas holiday season?
Yeah, I think one thing that people can do is there's actually local events in their area that they can look to go to.
Nice.
So they have things like tree lighting or ornament crafting.
Nice.
Sometimes your local library will do it, or just your town, and that's just something fun to do. You can kind of get in the spirit and get festive, and then you can go listen to caroling, stuff like that, and I think that can be helpful, actually.
Absolutely. So be depressed in the street. Nice.
While making your ornament, yep. Out of eggshells, I mean, you can do that, but that's up to you. That's right. Up to you.
Well, I would say, instead of honing in on what you don't have and the deficiencies of life, it's always easy to go to that space. But what takes a little bit more work, but it feels better, is to go to the positive, right? And so, what do you have this holiday season? And focusing on being grateful and coming in from a place of gratitude every single day on that. And then I really love the end of the year because it also helps you to focus in on what comes next. So really excited about some of the things that we want to do as a couple, as a family, as well as individually for 2022. So I would encourage anyone who's listening, if you're feeling down, pick yourself up, right? Focus on what's coming next and how are you going to make 2022 better than 2021?
By crafting ornaments for the Christmas tree.
So being sad in the street. Yep.
Yeah. I have a solution for that.
Krampus, where are you?
Yeah, exactly. You can go be Krampus, too.
Oh, God.
You can do that. Maybe dress up as it. That'll help, right?
KJ.
Yeah, have fun times. Question 8. Do you get yourself gifts for Christmas?
1,000%. My middle name is Santa.
Wow. All right. If you say.
And I'm a pretty good Santa. As you know, I'm really good at treating myself. So
you're decent at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I mean, I'm not like a crazy, so we shop different, right? You're bigger ticketed items and I'm more like, hey, let's go have fun at Five Below. But nonetheless, as long as you get what you like, then it's cool.
Yeah, that's true. I buy myself stuff for Christmas as well. That's the benefit of celebrating as an adult. You just get what you want, right?
And having employment, yes.
I guess so. I mean, you could have employment.
Or, yeah, you could have a trust fund. Either way, yeah.
Yeah, see? If you could have some form of income, then there you go. You're good to just purchase your stuff. Oh, and you have to be able to use it, too.
Correct.
Remember, some people, they dish out the money and they decide what you can spend it on.
Yep.
So if you're in that situation, it's a little tougher.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, with question number 9 is, what are your thoughts on Santa Claus?
Well. That character is not real, is the thing that I'll say. And you gotta think of it. Yeah. It's the same thing as the Tooth Fairy. So, you can tell people that this thing is real, but then you gotta tell them that Frodo is real too. So if you do
You'll
that,
always be coming from my Lord of the Rings.
yeah, but if you do that though, then I'm fine. Then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
every character, every written in a book is real. Then yes, Santa Claus is real too. It's just as real as that. But if not, you just got to be honest with yourself and say, did this person ever come down the chimney that doesn't exist? Like there's too many holes in the story. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If it was a little more buttoned up, then Santa Claus could exist, but it just doesn't work, right? You can't even make this thing seem real. But what is cool about it, since he's so magical, you just can put his name on gifts and give him credit that's undue.
Absolutely. I think Santa's under our Christmas tree
Give him
right
some
now.
undue
Yeah,
credit,
absolutely.
yeah.
So for
It's
me,
fun.
my thoughts are, I don't believe in telling children lies. I remember very distinctly my dad looking at me as I was 6 and talked about Santa and was like, excuse you, there is no such thing as Santa.
Nice.
And so
That's a good way to do it.
that was not necessarily the best delivery, but I appreciate the fact that he wanted me to understand that him and my mom were the people who worked hard and they took their hard-earned money and bought me something. And so I too don't necessarily want to share, preposterous lies to KJ. I think I want him to understand that, like, we work hard and we're able to, whether we get you something from the dollar store or some family member gets you something, that, like, people are spending their money getting you gifts, not fictitious characters. Especially if they don't even reflect how you look, right? Like,
Well, I mean, you can get ones that reflect how you look.
You can, but not every community, right? I don't know if I've seen a Thai or a Filipino Santa. Like,
You haven't looked.
no, I mean, I've in the Santa parades, yes, but not like on actual printed things. I haven't seen it.
Have you been to those countries? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there might be, right?
Yeah, it
But,
probably
like,
exists.
yeah.
That's the funny thing. It's just that you haven't seen it.
But at the end of the day, there is no Santa that's buying children things. People are buying them things. And so just kind of, that's my thought on it. Just like be honest and just, I think Santa should be, similar to your point, should be like kind of like a story, like the same way you talk about
it's just a
Bambi
fun story.
or Dumbo, like talk about Santa, but don't be like, oh, let's really go make cookies because Santa's coming. Like
Yeah, don't pretend
that I'm
that-
not for here. That to me is ludicrous. Make me cookies. I'm hungry, sure.
Yeah, I don't think that works. In this day and age, kids are going to just find that out quick, and
Yeah.
they're going to be asking questions like, is this person breaking and trespassing?
Yeah, be like, that to me sounds like a night, again,
They're
Krampus.
wondering, like, who invited this person? Did they know
Yeah.
that? Like, that's crazy. Come
But
on.
I do believe in watching Bad Santa as soon as possible because that is a
Well,
phenomenal,
yeah, you can watch a Bad Santa, too.
phenomenal film.
Agreed. Question 10. Any challenges or objections to celebrating Christmas?
Absolutely not. Life is exhausting. Why not take the time to have a break to celebrate yourself and your loved ones? And gifts don't need to be expensive. I know a lot of people sometimes kind of wage war against Christmas because they're like, I'm not spending thousands of dollars for this, but you actually don't have to. You can buy really affordable gifts. Like I said, the dollar store, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Five Below, they have lovely gifts that if you have, 3 to 5 people in your life and maybe you don't have more than $50 to spend, you can get someone something and it's more a gesture. It doesn't have to break your bank. And if you can afford to spend more on yourself or your loved ones, then do you, but don't object to the holiday because, you feel like it's putting you out of hock. It doesn't have to.
Well, I mean, I think one thing you got to bring up is that there's definitely big objections to celebrating Christmas because what if you believe in a religion
Different
that doesn't
holiday, yeah.
can't even celebrate that? Like you just, that's not
Like
a part
if
of
you're
your
Muslim
thing.
or
Yeah, you
Buddhist
might
or
like say,
something.
I can't even celebrate that. So that's one big objection.
Yeah.
But then I think if you're celebrating it because of that original reason, like you brought up, the birth of Jesus of Nazareth, like I'm not going to go into Jesus and stuff. I'm just going to leave that alone. But let's just say this Jesus figure is here.
This
is not
say
as-
this Jesus figure.
Yes, let's just say that.
Yeah,
Then
okay.
no matter what, this timeline doesn't add up. He would not have been born on the day that it's celebrated.
Yeah, correct.
So the timeline is all off. So if you're celebrating Christmas because you say that's
'Cause of the
Jesus'
religious
birthday,
thing, yeah.
that's not actually, you're not doing it right. That's not
But
the
then
truth.
you're just also like denying
that's-
yourself gifts, so it's just sad.
But you can celebrate Christmas as just like we said, it's a time of spending
Yeah.
with family and watching them have fun and having food.
But it's only fun if there's gifts, though.
Yeah, the gift could be food. The gift of food is good. The gift of life.
Oh,
you can say you have been granted a life.
Thursday dinner, I mean, like,
Yeah, you could have freaking like good crab cakes.
The gifts, though.
The crab cake is the gift.
Even if it's from the Dollar Tree, we can't have one gift.
No, of course you don't need to. You can have a card that someone drew on a piece of paper and fold it up. You can have that.
So a paper cut. That's what I get.
No, not a paper cut. You can make sure it's very smooth and no paper cuts allowed. So that's what I'm saying. You don't even have to get gifts to celebrate Christmas.
I know you're not talking to me about this.
Talking about the gift of life and everything else, but just not the gifts. It could be the gifts. You could celebrate for that, but I'm just saying that's not the main reason. The main reason is to spend time with family.
The main reason is to open gifts.
Come on now. Is that it's called Giftmas? Maybe
yes, that's what it should be called.
Giftmas.
And you better
it might be called that in the
understand
future.
assignment.
We don't know. Yeah, eventually that word may be taken out and it'll be called what it is.
Christ has nothing to do with Christmas.
Yeah,
gifts.
That's
gifts
the
is
thing.
what is the name of the game, guys.
And yeah, that's actually the truth. Some people might be offended, but they need to go and look at research.
No one is paying attention to Jesus on this Sunday.
But some people are though, because they're still stuck in that past mentality.
I guess.
But the people that have looked into, they know it's a mistake.
It's about giftmas.
Yeah, it's giftmas, really.
Yeah, I'm about to make a whole thing on that.
But the gift can be food, though. That's the problem in life.
According to you, I want something that's wrapped.
Gift of life. Yeah.
I want wrapping. There's no wrapping.
What if you wrap up life and give that to somebody? And it's a virtual wrapping.
Nope.
You don't even, there's no paper or nothing.
The paper cut from the paper that I've unwrapped.
No, we're in a remote world, so you gotta get the virtual life gift.
Send me a gift.
Yes, you'll get sent, and you can get sent from anybody. It's a virtual gift. You open it virtually.
You're trifling.
It's
Is
open
it a
in your
virtual
mind.
Amazon gift card?
Yeah, you open up in your mind and you go to virtual Amazon as well and purchase virtual items.
No.
Yeah, see, isn't that fun? You can get anything you want too. Everything's available in the store. They never run out. They're always in stock.
You're so mean.
Talk about next day shipping. It comes in 5 seconds.
I'm so hurt by this. Question number 11. What is your criteria for picking out Christmas gifts for others?
I first like to get things that people want. The next thing I do is I get things that are useful. Mm-hmm. And the last thing as I think about is how can I make this person laugh? And that's how I pick out the gifts.
How can you make the person laugh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think about that, so I'll try to get that if I can.
Okay, so for me, mine is I think about the person and the preferences that I know about. And then I identify gifts that would fit that person's preferences. I then make sure that it fits within the budget of what I want to spend for that person. And then pick the best platform to get the gift, which typically is Amazon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
That's your place of choice. Mm-hmm. Question 12. Do you have go-to Christmas gifts you want every year?
Yes. Amazon gift card.
Yikes.
Some people say it's impersonal. I think it's the gift of choice, and it gives me the choice of being able to shop on my favorite platform. So thank you and have a nice day.
All right. That's straightforward.
Yep.
And I don't actually have any of that.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll want the same thing from one year to the next, but never every Christmas though. I want a certain gift.
I want an Amazon gift card
It changes.
at my funeral. I love Amazon.
I don't have that. I don't have a stable like that.
Yeah.
No.
Question 13. What do you want most for Christmas this year?
I want to watch my son unwrap his first present.
Aw, that is so freaking sweet. Yes.
Because he loves to take paper apart.
Broke up.
So that's what's good. Like
true Jamaican here.
He'll definitely know how to open it. That's what's crazy. He's already ready. He's ready.
So ready.
He's been practicing.
For me as well, I just want KJ to be happy and excited about all his gifts. As a mom, his happiness means the world to me, and it's just what I live for every single day.
Question 14. Is there more to Christmas than gifts?
No. I'm kidding, yes. It's a wonderful time to relax. Some suggest friends and family.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Exactly. That's what I suggested.
Of course. But for me, I would say the gifts, yes, most definitely. But also, really, I love the self-care time. Finding time to just, decompress and be with your thoughts and to journal and to sleep and to, put on a face mask. Some of the, stuff that sometimes you may neglect during the year is a wonderful time to do that now.
Yeah, maybe when you think about time and value spending with people that are close to you, I think that's pretty much more than just gifts. You know, it's that's what people need to think about when they think about Christmas.
As long as everyone's pleasant. I think for me, like in the past, Christmas hasn't always been spent with pleasant family members. So
yeah, that makes it hard.
It's a little bit
it's
more
hard to value that time.
for me to value that. Like I'm just like, or you could just give me the Amazon gift card.
But you can think of them kind of like if they were different people. That's what you got to think.
If they were different people and I was a different person,
yeah, see?
then sure.
And then you value that, like you value the idea, not the actual experience.
I value for the people that I really do adore and can't like. I love spending time with them. Yes, the idea of being able to spend holidays with them is amazing. But for the majority of folks who are trifling, no.
So not the more the merrier. Then that phrase doesn't apply.
Yeah, my entire life is really around having
a
tight crew of people that I spend physical or virtual time with. But question 15, how much do people typically spend on Christmas gifts, do you think?
The last thing I heard was it was a couple of hundreds when I was watching the news. Mm-hmm. It was like $300 to $500.
Interesting.
That's what it looked like.
Okay.
I found.
So on Fortunately.com, last year, holiday retail sales surpassed the $1 trillion mark. And yes, that's 12 zeros, with U.S. households spending an average of $1,536 during the season.
Wow.
And, that's
the average? That's amazing.
That pretty much blew my mind, but it didn't because of how much things cost.
Things are more expensive though, too.
Some people have a really wide network, right? If you have, if you come from a family of more than 2 children or 6 aunts or, whatever, it gets really pricey really quickly. So.
Well, I guess people are buying expensive cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I saw cards. I thought you could get them for cheap, but people are spending $1,500 in cards. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Question 16. What is your favorite part of Christmas?
I would say opening the gifts and then spending the day playing with them or reading the new books I get. Like, I loved when you got me the whole 30 Days a Night graphic novel series, because my favorite part would be to open it and then be able to read them, and you'd be like, you didn't read that on all before Christmas holiday was over, and it'd be like, yep, I read it.
You go in.
I go in. I love getting books and just reading them, and then also just eating and falling asleep with eggnog in my hand. It's just amazing. It's just the things to live for. How about you? It's
definitely fun just opening things up, even if you know what they are.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know it's in it, but you're still just excited to open it up now. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's something that's satisfying about that.
Mm-hmm. Question 17. Anything to avoid on Christmas?
Yeah, definitely. You're going to have to avoid a couple things. So the first thing you want to avoid is being grumpy.
Okay,
Don't do that. Mm-hmm. You want to avoid being judgy. Come on. This is not the time to judge.
Okay.
And very important, try to avoid being a Grinch. Because the Grinch stole Christmas and you don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And the last thing I would say is avoid being a Scrooge.
Okay.
So, give people some gifts and be kind of merry. Or, if they want the last eggnog, you give that to them. Don't be a Scrooge about it.
Okay. Those are good points. Absolutely. Yeah. I would say you should avoid the following: eating food that doesn't sit well with you. That just doesn't lend for a good day. Spending time with people you don't want to. And I'm 1,000%. I know it is, but you can move away. Thank you, Arizona. And also, you can decide not to go and, some people spend their holiday and they're on the road half the day traveling to different households. But if you really don't want to do it, don't do it, right? Don't live in accordance to what you should do, but live in accordance to what you want to do. And it really makes special days like Christmas that much better and more meaningful for yourself and your family. And then also, not taking time to rest and relax is going to make the holiday feel a lot less like a holiday and a lot less enjoyable. So those are my things to avoid.
All right. Question 18. How does scenery impact your Christmas celebration? For example, do you need snow to make Christmas feel more special?
Interesting. So I would say, being that we're New Yorkers, it is kind of custom, growing up when I thought about Christmas or holiday season, to envision snow on the ground and that you might go outside. But to be honest, it's, I'm not a fan of feeling cold. It makes me feel unsafe. Really it does. It makes me feel Krampus. He's nearby. It's scary. I don't like it. I really don't. So I kind of like the idea of, especially being out in Arizona, that you look outside and it's sunny and it's Christmas and there's palm trees and there's no snow on the ground, and that's pretty darn cool. At least in this part of Arizona. If you're in Flagstaff, then yeah, technically I think they do get snow around this time of the year.
They've gotten snow already. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I don't think you need snow to make a day feel more validated like Christmas.
Wow. Well, for me, Christmas is sadder without snow.
Lies.
That's how I think about it. Like, I cry when I don't see the snow.
Including the snow that you don't have to shovel now?
That's the thing. That's the only time I miss snow is on Christmas. Every other day of the year, nope.
Okay.
Because on Christmas, I don't have to shovel snow.
Why do snow elves come to
I leave it to Santa.
Oh, so Santa's now delivering gifts and cleaning up snow.
Santa got to shovel your driveway. You just got to leave the directions.
Santa is a global slave. That's a shame.
That's a better Santa, though. Talk about a real gift giving. Shovel those northeasterners snow.
That
and
is
the people at high altitudes.
That's a real shame how your view on Santa.
Oh, I thought.
Poor Saint Nick.
I thought that's what he did, is shovel snow. So I'd have to think about it.
Okay. Question 19. What are the biggest mistakes people make on Christmas?
Well, a good mistake that people make is pretending they actually don't want gifts. Because, that's in human nature to desire gifts and actually want it. But they tell you, oh, don't get me anything. And then secretly they're like pounding their pillow like, why didn't that person get me a gift?
Nobody loves me. Nobody wants me. I hear that. See? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm for giftmas. So I'm not out here telling me don't get me anything. Exactly, KJ, right? You want all the gifts, I think.
Yeah.
All the gifts, booby. All right. So Insider.com shares the following, and I thought it was funny. Obvious regifting, right? Because if you get caught out there, that sucks.
That's really crazy.
Bringing your new boyfriend or girlfriend to Christmas dinner as a surprise. Definitely.
Oh, really?
Because again, right, if you are going to your mom and your mom maybe you're away at college and then she wants to spend time with you, and then here you are bringing your new honey boo, and they're like,
well, yeah, say you're bringing a guest at least.
Don't surprise somebody. That's
true.
Crazy. Having a little bit too much fun at your office Christmas party. I've been there, and that is a fatal mistake.
Yeah, people do that. Yeah,
that is not.
You gotta be careful.
When you're puking your brains out, it's bad look.
You're saying that there's worse things that could happen.
Yeah,
because you saw that Office Party show. Movie.
Oh yes,
the movie.
What a phenomenal film. Also, talking politics at the Christmas dinner table. That's a deep no-no. I agree with there.
Wow.
Being rude to retail workers during the busiest time of the year. I agree with that. I thought that was a good point. I mean, let's just try to take a step back. It's just a holiday.
Yeah,
guys.
Don't take it out on them.
Yeah, definitely not. Giving someone a diet cookbook or a gym membership. I thought that was really trifling.
A diet cookbook? Well, yeah, that's really bad.
I mean, unless the person has asked for that, I would say, yeah.
But no, the diet cookbook is bad because you can give them a digital thing.
Yes, but some people do read books in print.
That just seems such a ripoff nowadays.
Giving joke underwear as a gift. I thought that was a really funny one because I would love that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I mean, I guess it depends on who it's coming from.
Don't give that to your boss.
True.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird.
But and then also refusing to donate your time or money to the less fortunate. I thought that was a wild statement.
Refusing it though. That's funny to say refusing because it's like someone asked you and said, "I'd never do that."
Yeah,
and that's crazy. You can't respond that way. Question 20. What's the worst Christmas gift that you have ever gotten?
Such a good question. So I would probably say something like a wool sweater because that is wool itches my skin, and so it makes me it would make me mad at that person to say, why did you give me the gift of pain and discomfort? Because you know how I feel about pain. So yeah,
because I don't think the Woken Free family knew that you were allergic to the wool.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I have an outright allergic thing, but I definitely know there's like some type of mental thing that happens when I have a wool sweater on. I start to itch and twitch and sound like KJ.
Blame it on him.
Yeah.
That was him.
Exactly. How about you?
The worst Christmas gift I got, I don't remember who gave it to me, but it was, this is bad. It was these old button-up shirts, and there were stains on the front. Stop. Come on. Come on. No.
Do you want to share beyond the obvious reason why that was the
I think your laugh explains it. The joy that it's brought to you explains the pain that I felt in that moment. Yeah, that was a painful moment for me.
That was really embarrassing.
Yeah, that was painful.
Well, this too shall pass.
Yeah, talk about an anti-gift. Like that was one
maybe
of those type of things.
Maybe that was a gift from the Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah, maybe it was a gift from Krampus. I don't know. That was weird, right?
Exactly.
Because that was very strange. Exactly. It was a surprise. I didn't expect it, but it definitely tops the list. I'll remember it.
That's
I always remember that as the worst gift of all time.
Okay. Question 21 with a bang. Best Christmas quote or saying that you really enjoy?
I never really thought about Christmas quotes, so I had to look one up, but the one that I came up it's actually a Dr. Seuss book.
Nice.
Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. What if Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store? What if Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more?
Why are you throwing me shade? You have a shady baby because
that quote hit different.
You are shady.
That quote hit different than the Dumbledore quote, so I went with that one because he was talking about socks, and he said he likes to get socks for Christmas.
Indeed,
and I can't roll that way.
Okay. So my quote is from Benjamin Franklin: "A good conscience is a continual Christmas."
Oh, all right.
And I thought that was kind of cool because it spoke to the idea that, like, we should be more generous and kind with spirit and with our pockets and wallets on Christmas. But what if we were also really kind and pleasant with each other all year long?
That's rough.
Wouldn't that be the gift that keeps giving and better than the old button-down shirt with stains?
No, not even close. Those are on two different planets.
Oh, God.
Two different worlds.
Well, maybe we're in the multiverse, so we'll just leave it at that.
All right, if you say so.
We are at that time again. It is coming to the end of our 224th episode of
Woken Free.
Quite the episode discussing Woken Free Storytime, 21 questions about Christmas. Now, what do folks need to do?
Come back next week for the new Woken Free Wednesday episode. And make sure you follow us on social media to follow along the conversation. And make sure you tune in next week for Woken Free Wednesday to join the conversation at wokenfree.com.
If you'd like to be a guest on our show, definitely submit a topic for our upcoming episode in 2022 on our Contact Us page at wokenfree.com. That's WOKENFREE.com. Mentioned it earlier in the episode. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn at Woken Free. And for sponsorships or collaborations, again, find us on our Contact Us page at wokenfree.com. Exactly, KJ.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do share the episode and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for Woken Free Wednesdays. Remember, Woken Free is more than a podcast. It is a way of life. Till next time.
Happy holidays.